Guys, this week we're going to do videos talking about the NFL Combine, so get ready for them. But I got to start this week off with this one right here because guess what? There is a group of gentlemen that put together a plan to make sure that some of these HBCU players' dreams could possibly come true in this upcoming draft this week. Guys, hey, strap on in. Don't go nowhere because this video might be a little long, but I need you to stick with me. Just stick with me because guess what? You got to give these folks their flowers because if you haven't heard about this by now, I'm sure this is going to blow your mind when I tell you how all of this went down. You know your favorite coach is back at it again, 10 toes down. About to tell you how it all went down. But first, welcome back to Tomorrow League Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. That's right, guys. Subscribe to the channel, like these videos, comment on these videos, share these videos. Hey, hit that notification bell so you can get all these videos. Hey, not to mention, tap a friend, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell them to come on in. Number positive vibes over here. So without further ado, don't forget, you can follow us on social media. The links are down below in the description. So now, without further ado, we're going to jump on off in this thing right now, 10 toes down, like I just told you before, and let you know how this thing just turned out. These athletes, they're looking at taking their talent to the next level, especially if they're being told that they're going to be projected in certain rounds of NFL draft, NBA draft, MLB, you name it, right? And a lot of these guys, they're dependent upon having this opportunity to get in front of these scouts to show their talent so that they could be one of those ones whose names is being called. When I say to you, this group of individuals here did something that is very extraordinary, and you must, capital M-U-S-T, put some respect on what they did for these HBCU athletes, guys, because let me tell you, a lot of times when things come about, say, oh, we just can't do it, and not trying to find another opportunity or not trying to find an outlet or some way, shape, or fashion to position people to put them in place. You know what? HBCU folks do it all the time. It's kind of like that old system where you hear about, you know, hey, we make sweet lemonade out of sour lemons all the time. There was 26 players last year that didn't have the opportunity to showcase their talents in front of NFL scouts, right? But the crazy thing about it was there were some calls that went out to many of those athletes letting them know, hey, listen, there's going to be a combine put on for you. There's NFL, CFL, you got the overseas leagues, you got the XFL, you know, you got all of these different leagues that are looking at these gentlemen that they wanted to see last year and didn't get to see them. So as I like to say, another one of my slogans is, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And a lot of these gentlemen, they stayed ready. And guess what, guys? They had an opportunity of a lifetime that was presented before them. And you know what? That opportunity was brought before them by none other than assistant coach over at Bethune-Cookman, Charles Yogi Jones, and a Milwaukee businessman who was the first African-American to lead a Major League Baseball organization, none other than Mr. Ulice Payne Jr. That's right, guys. Ulice Payne Jr. But listen, Ulice Payne Jr., if you're out there and you watch this video, hey, you touched my heart because you know what? There's a gentleman that's related to you who I'm going to get to further on in this video. Man, hey, I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for putting on for these young men and allowing them to have the opportunity to get out there and possibly fulfill their dreams. But listen, let me go on. Let me not get, you know, I'm starting to get a little choked up. But let me just keep going. Yeah, I'm back now. I'm back. Coach Jones, who's an assistant coach at Bethune-Cookman, he was able to see firsthand how players not being able to have the opportunity for the HBCU Combine last year, how it affected them. Because that, like I said, the pandemic shut down a lot of different things for people where they weren't able to do the things that they were anticipating on doing. And some of them didn't have that plan B in place. All they knew was plan A. And you know what? I'm kind of glad a lot of them stuck to plan A because plan A finally came through for them. You know what? What Coach did was, Coach said, hey, let me do this. He went and reached out to Mr. Payne, excuse me. What Coach Jones did was, Coach Jones reached out to Mr. Payne and said, hey, listen, let's devise a plan, take this to the NFL and see if they're willing to do this. And, you know, of course, you know, some folks, they kind of hesitant because, you know, when money is involved and the money's not there, they don't exactly know what to do or which way to go. But you know what Mr. Payne said, don't worry about it. I'll scribble the check myself. I got this one. I'll take care of these young men and make sure that we get them in position so that they can have the opportunity of a lifetime because it makes no sense in seeing this happen to them 2 years in a row. That's from Coach Jones and Mr. Payne. They're both looking at it from that standpoint. As I stated before, there were 45 players that was invited to this camp. It was invitation only. If you were not invited, you were not allowed to come. But like I said before, there was 26 players who the European leagues, the CFL, the NFL, the XFL, scouts wanted to take a look at last year and didn't have the opportunity to do it. But you know what? Now we got that part in place, but you got to have some other players in here where you can get these gentlemen to the location. And matter of fact, you got to have a location. But you know what? None other than the University of Alabama, Birmingham, they stepped up and said, hey, listen to me. Don't worry about it. We can go ahead and get this thing together. And you got to give the director of player relations, Randy Pippen, and the University of Alabama head coach, Bill Clark, and not to mention ESPN's own Stephen A. Smith, some credit. Stephen A. Smith positioning this, he was able to help players who needed a travel grant to get themselves to and from the combine that was set up for them at the University of Alabama. Now, where Mr. Pippen and Coach Clark come in at, they allowed Mr. Payne and Coach Jones to come in and have the event there at the facility of University of Birmingham, Alabama, while they were having their pro day as well. So it was a win-win for everybody, guys. And when I tell you, not only did they allow them to have the combine there, but guess what else they did? They took them through all of the necessary trainings that all of the NFL players who went to the combine, they got those same trainings as well, so that they're on the same page and going down that same path to know the things that they're going to see along the way. So that's a beauty in its own as well. Because I mean, think about it. How many of you out here know, how many of you out here are willing to, go the extra mile to find out about mental health, personal finances, and adapting it to a professional life? Guys, there's a lot of things there's a lot of things that's involved in that. We've already heard about guys coming late to practice, guys showing up late for the plane or the bus that's leaving to go to a particular facility, people getting left, things of that nature, investing your money, allowing people to take your money and invest it wherever they wish to invest it, and you don't know where your money is being, invested. You don't know where your money is going. Not to mention, there's a lot of things right now that's going on with CTE, and there's some people that need that additional help or need somebody to talk to. So they want to make sure that they have those phone numbers to get out, those phone numbers to pick that phone up when they need to reach out to somebody and let them know, hey, look, I need some help. I need somebody to talk to. So that's a beautiful thing. Not to mention, they had a dinner for these guys, right? And this is where it really choked me up. You see, I got my Morris Brown purple on back there, right? This is where it really choked me up, is the fact that Mr. Payne, his uncle, who was a football player at Morris Brown College. You see that over the shoulder. Got to throw the plug in there. Yeah, he was a football player at Morris Brown College, Mr. Ernie Pappy Ross. That's right. If I'm not mistaken, I believe I remember seeing his picture. I seen a picture of him in the case in the gymnasium on Morris Brown campus, and I think he was standing there out like a bird like this. I'm trying to remember if that's him or not. That picture's just ingrained in my head because I used to always go look at that picture in that case whenever I went to the gym and say, hey, I want to have my picture there too one day. Things didn't work out that way, but you know what? I got to salute that man, because there's so many individuals like Mr. Ross and so many that came, before him and after him that did major things at Morris Brown College. And now here you have his nephew, Mr. Payne, coming out here wanting to help these men fulfill their dreams. And you know what? That's what HBCU is all about, is being able to get out here and help your family. It doesn't matter if you went to the same college or not. The bottom line is we're all family. Guess what? We're part of the HBCU family. That's a big family, great big family. Trust me, man. I'm not going to go no further than that. Y'all want to talk about that? Let me know. I'll start up a live and we can do it that way. But guys, let me tell you something. Now, like I said, if you know anybody out there that attended the combine, the coaches that I named, hey, let them know Coach Walker said thank you. Also, I would love to talk. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with them. If possible, if they want to, interview or talk about their college, talk about their universities. If they want to, Mr. Payne, if you want to sit down and talk about business, there's a lot of different things out here, different directions that we can go so that we can make sure people are aware of who you are, what you do, and what you offer. That's to all of you guys. Stephen A. Smith, I know you're on ESPN. If anybody out there knows Stephen A. Smith, I know he went to Winston-Salem State University. Hey, reach out to him and tell him, hey, this little guy, Coach Walker over here, would love to have a conversation with him just to get some more insight on what he's doing for the, within the HBCU culture itself. Because like I said, there's a lot of folks out here that's willing to help and lend a helping hand. And guess what? I want to lend one as well. I just want to know which direction I need to go. If there's any players out there that was in this combine, please reach out to me. DM me in my social media, either on Twitter or Instagram. Let's talk, guys. I want to know how the experience went. Let's share. Hey, if you don't mind, can we share the experience with a lot of these up and coming athletes that's coming through the ranks so that they know what they need to do and how to get prepared? Let's talk about it, guys. That's something out there that really needs to be touched on. But until next time, guys, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe. That's right, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Like these videos. Comment on these videos. Share these videos, guys. And also, remember, tap a friend, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Tell them to come on in. Number positive vibes over here. Be the one and lead.